Good day everyone. Welcome to the Azure Data Factory Series. In this video, we will walk you through setting up link services, configuring the self-hosted integration runtime, and moving a CSV file between containers, all within the Azure portal. Whether you are new to ADF or looking to refine your skills, this step-by-step guide has got you covered. Let's dive in. Let's launch the studio here. Once it comes up, what we'll do is we will look at different components there. Okay, so we have the studio ready here. Yep, so we have these things here like home, author, monitor, manage, and things like that. Yep. So if you want to create a pipeline, for example, if you have created any pipeline already, those pipelines will be here. So right now I don't have any pipeline, so that is the reason I'm not able to see anything. So now in order to create a new pipeline, you just need to click on this plus and then you need to select whatever is required. So for example here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this new pipeline here. Yeah, and then if you see here, you have several things that you can do using this one here. For example, you have copy data, data flow, you have things for Synapse for Azure Data Explorer, for Databricks, you have everything. So whatever comes to your mind, if you want to achieve using Azure Data Factory, then you will be able to achieve that. So you have all the required services. It is just like you need to be creative and use the appropriate activities and move ahead. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to create a storage account. Yeah. So let's click on create and then let's create a storage account here. And then what we'll do is we will create 2 containers within that storage account. Yeah, so I'm going to click on create. So let's name this storage account as JBADB storage account. Yeah, and we will leave it as South India here, the region. I will leave the performance as standard here and redundancy as LRS. Yeah, so let's click on next. So here what I'll do is I will enable this enable hierarchical namespaces here. Yeah, and then click on next. So as of now, I will leave this network access as enable public access from all networks. Since it's a demo, I'm going to do this, but in reality, on a production environment, we will not be having this one. It will basically be disable public access and then use private access. Yeah, I will show that show all these things in future videos. Yeah, let's click on next. Then I will leave it all default here. Click on next. Again, I will leave all these things as default. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this some tags here. I will name this as an application, and then I will name it as JBADB, and also owner, and I will have the owner as JBS Wiki, and environment, I will keep it as say test. Yeah, so tags really helps us in identifying the resource. So I have selected the required things. I'm just going to click on create. Let's wait for it to complete. I'll pause this video. Once the deployment completes, I will resume it back. Okay, so the storage account is created now. Let's go to the resource. Let's go to the container. So if you can see here, these are the tags that we have created. Yeah, if we have some meaningful tags, then that would easily help us to identify what this storage account is and how is it related to other resources, if you can create the tags meaningfully. Yeah. So now let's go to the containers. Yeah. And then what I'll do is like I will create two containers called one is source and the next one would be target. So what I'm going to do, I will copy a CSV file into this source container. Yeah. And what I'll do after this, I will create a link services from the Azure Data Factory to this particular storage account, and then I will create a medium of communication between the data factory and the storage account. And then what I'll do is like I will create a pipeline in such a way like the file that is that is placed in this source container will be copied over to the target container. Yeah. So let's upload the required file. Let me drag and drop the required file. Yeah, I have the CSV file, so let me upload that. And then if you see here, we have this df.csv in this container, which is source. And if you look at the target container, we don't have anything there. So what I'm going to do, I will create the ADF pipeline, and then I will try copying that file from source to target. Okay, let's head back to the data factory. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to manage here, and then if you see here, we have the link services here. So I'm going to create a link services now. That is a link services to connect to the storage account that we have just created. Yeah, it's kind of a communication that will be like established after we create it on the Azure Data Factory. Let's click on new. And then if you see here, you can create link services to all these service here. Yeah. So in my case, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to create for many things, but just for this link service, I'm going to use this Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Yeah. Let's click on continue. Let's name this. We will name it as JBADB storage account underscore source underscore target. Yeah, so I've mentioned the storage account name here, and then the container source and target. Yeah, so if you want, you can provide the description also. The description like link to STO or AGE account. Yeah, so later when you have several link services, this description can help you differentiate it. Yeah, so now the connect via integration runtime, I'm going to use the auto resolve integration runtime. Yeah, so you have other things called Azure Integration Runtime, and then SHIR, which is self-hosted integration runtime. We will discuss in my upcoming videos about that one by one, but as of now, I'm going to use this auto resolve integration runtime. Yeah, authentication type would be account key. We can use several other things, but to keep it simple, I'm going to use account key for this. Yeah, the Azure subscription, you will have to select the required subscription here. Yeah, then select the required account name. So in my case, I'm going to select JBADB storage account. Yeah, so if you see here, this is a storage account. Yeah, so let's go back. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on test connection. And if you can see here, the connection is successful. So let's click on create here. Yep, so if you can see here in our link services, we have created the required link services connecting your Azure Data Factory to the storage account. Yeah. Now what we'll do is like we will go back to this menu here called author, and then what I'll do is like I will click on this move and transform and then use this copy data. Yeah. So in this copy data, what I'm going to do, I'm going to name this one, wherein I will use the same thing like the storage account, source target, the naming convention. It all depends on the individual. So right now, this is a test server, so I'm using these naming convention, but in reality, in production, it is always good you give some meaningful name and also the proper description. Yeah. So timeout is 12 hours. I'm not going to change anything there. I'm just going to keep it very simple. So I will leave it all default. Let's go to source. And then here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on new here. Yeah. And then I'm going to select Azure Data Lake Storage. Let's click on continue. And then CSV is what we are going to use. So let's click on continue. And then name is copy DF, let's go CSV from source to target. Yeah, this is the name that I'm going to select. And then the link service is the one that we created. Yeah, the link service that we have created. So I will select that. Yeah. And then first row as header is something that I have selected. So let's click on this browse here. So you have this source here, yeah, and then you have this df.csv. Let's click on that and click on OK, yeah. And then what you can do is like you can click on OK here as well, yeah. Let's wait for it to come up. So it's here. So let's just to show, let's click on this preview data. And then if you can see here, I'm able to see the data as well. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on sync here. Yeah. And then in the sync, what I'm basically going to do, I'm going to click on new here. I'm going to select this Azure Data Lake Storage and then CSV. And then what I'll do is like I will name it here as source underscore target. I will name it as destination. And then link servers, I'm going to use the same one that I've created earlier. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this one and then I will select target here. Yeah. And then I will click on OK and then OK again. So now let's name this pipeline. Let's name this pipeline as one dot storage account. Dot is not allowed, so let's use as underscore. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to publish this. Let's publish it. Before running that, let's look at the storage account again. In the source, I have a CSV file called df.csv, and in target, I don't see any files there. Yeah. So let's wait for the pipeline to get published, and after that, what we'll do is like we will trigger it. Okay. So it is published now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this add trigger, and then I will be using trigger now. But if you want to look at this one, what you can do is like you can click on a new trigger if you want to run this pipeline multiple times, then you can schedule it. Yeah, so you have several options here, just like your SQL Server agent where you schedule your job. You can use the same thing here as well. Yeah, but here what I'm going to do, I'm going to just click on add trigger and then do the trigger now. Yeah, click on OK. So let's wait for it to run. So here, let's click on this view pipeline run so that we will be able to see what is going on. It is showing us queued. Let's wait for some time. Let's give it some time. So if you see here, it is showing as succeeded. Yeah. So now if I click on the details here, it basically tells like data read is 127 KB, files read is 1, peak connections 1. and data written is 127.046 KB. So we read that, and same amount of data is written. Files written is also 1, yeah. And then the copy duration is close to 11 seconds. The throughput is 63.523 KB per second. Yeah, so you get all these details like the time. If you see, it is all totally it is 11 seconds. Queuing took like 7 seconds, and transfer basically took just 2 seconds. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just close this and then go to the target here. Then let's refresh it and see if the file is there. And if you can see here, the file is here. So basically what I've done is like I've opened the Azure Data Factory Data Studio, and then I created a storage account, yeah, and then created two containers within it called source and target, and I placed a file called df.csv on the source container. And after that, what I basically did is like open the data factory and then created a pipeline. And in order for my ADF to connect to my storage account, I created a link service. Yeah. So if you want to look that one, if you see here, I've created this link service, and what I've done, I've basically like used the auto resolve integration runtime, gave the required details, and then I was able to connect to it. And then I use this link service as an link from ADF to the storage account, and then I've created a pipeline and triggered that pipeline, and it completed fine. It basically copied that df.csv from the source folder to the target folder. That is, if you see here, we were able to copy this file from source folder to target folder. It's a very simple pipeline. It's our first pipeline, so I've not taken into account the best practice guidelines. I just went with all defaults. Yeah, slowly what we'll do is like, now that we know how we can create a simple pipeline, what we'll do is like we'll slowly add on top of it, and then let's make it complex, and then let's try creating some pipelines that would be required for the production use. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.